In last day's live stream with AP and David, Mohammed Hijab's ex-wife actually popped up in the chat and shared some details about her side of the story.
It's been verified. The woman here, Aisha, she's calling herself Aisha. She's actually in the chat. Her channel is Faith. I think it was Thaddeus who said that he verified that it's actually her. But she says, I'm the woman in question. When I said he ruined my life for years, it's because we were in contact for 3 years prior to the marriage, and I have been fighting for 2 years to get justice. So it's basically he took up a lot of her life. Sounds like 5 years. Sounds like 5 years total. And Faith, I've said, or Aisha, I've said elsewhere, we have all kinds of we would have all kinds of disagreements, and I understand. Me and AP, we blast away at Islam and so on, and from your perspective, that would be bad. But at the end of the day, whether I agree with your religion and your prophet or not, I do not want anyone to be victims of serial abusers and narcissists who manipulate people. They work themselves into positions of power over other people to take advantage of them. And they put themselves in positions where it becomes incredibly difficult to challenge them because people don't want to damage something that they care about. So this was the issue in the Catholic Church with the abuse scandals. You could have a victim who was abused as a child or something like that. Later, when that person is in a position to call it out, wants to keep it secret because it would be an embarrassment to the church that this person still loves. Like, in other words, you think, oh, this priest is a problem. This priest is doing something messed up. But if I expose this priest, then it would harm this great institution that I actually care about. That's the position that these guys will work themselves into. So you become a hero of the Dawah community and then use your spot to abuse people, knowing the people that you're abusing are never going to call you out because they love Islam. And so this is an ongoing issue. This is not unique to Islam. Narcissists, psychopaths, sadists, they work themselves into positions where they won't be criticized or challenged, and they make themselves important to this whatever it is, religion or an institution or something, so that people who care about the religion or the institution won't challenge them or call them out, and they'll just use this to spend their entire lives manipulating and abusing other people. And so guess what? You just have to call them out, and it is difficult. It will do damage to the credibility of the institution or the religion in people's eyes. It will damage. You just have to do it because the alternative is letting it continue, and that in the long run is going to do more damage.
Now that Aisha is here in the chat, I also want to point out that I think that she's fantastic and that Islam is a very beautiful religion and all that, and I think that she's completely the victim in all of this, and she has completely good discernment of character. So
why are you blaming the victim?
She's not a victim, man. I mean, let's face it. I think some people need to be ready to be criticized for some really stupid decisions that they make, especially. And I'm not saying that she did something stupid in misjudging character, and doing something, getting herself into it. But it also involves her being deceptive and dishonest, and basically engaging in a plot for her own benefit and her own pleasure, as it seems in going or hiding it from his family and all that. So it's kind of it's a very cultish behavior on all sides. And of course, I don't want to say you're dumb and you're bad. You got yourself into it, which is why you shouldn't complain. No, you should complain, and you should absolutely come out here and talk about this, because you should help stop the cult of wanting to convert and marry and have sex with all the women out there, which is the cult of Mohammed Hijab. But you should also take some responsibility and not involve yourself in such deceptive behavior to begin with.
To be fair, come on, think about the situation. She is a woman. She is married. She has a daughter. She gets a divorce, and she has an opportunity to be in a relationship with a hero of Dawah. I'm just saying, AP, lots of women make mistakes like that. And so it's not like she's uniquely falling for something. I mean, how many times have we heard the story about a Western woman who falls in love with a guy who falls in love with a Muslim guy who says, hey, marry me and everything's fine. You can even remain a Christian and so on. And then 2 years later, she's asking us for help because of the disastrous situation. Point is, people make dumb decisions. That happens. You don't spend the rest of their life, especially you don't spend the rest of their lives attacking them and shaming them when they are the ones who realize, hey, that was a bad decision, and now I'm going to try and correct it. You should be saying, hey, it's great. You messed up. You're trying to make it right. You're doing the right thing. Instead, you're like, no, I don't care if you're making it right. You've made a dumb decision in the past. Unlike me, I've never made a dumb decision. And neither has David Wood, even though he spent years in prison for his horrible decisions. You're the bad one and dumb one. Come on.
It would be one thing to make a dumb decision, but if we are talking about a guy who is actually, is a single dude who is also divorced and who gets into this with you, but who ends up using and dumping you. But in this case, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about. It's not a victimless. It's not a completely honest mistake. It is a rather dishonest mistake, as it seems, unless there's something that I fail to see here, because it doesn't involve her and then innocently falling in love and being abused by this idiot. So I'm not criticizing her for having poor judgment of character, but rather for involving herself in a plot with a dishonest guy who also is going behind the back of his own family and lying to them, and she's participating in that for her own benefit. That's what it looks like. By her wrong decision that is stupid, also deliberately participates or collaborates with a guy who is at the same time lying to his own family, and she's part of the deception, and she only speaks out once she doesn't get what she wants. I don't really feel sorry for her.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this, AP. I mean, it's like Andrew Tate with his webcam girls and so on. In the sense that you're dealing with basically a professional manipulator. Guess what? Professional manipulators are good at getting people to do and to believe things they want them to do and believe. So you take Mohammed Hijab and some random Muslim woman, he'll be able to convince her of all kinds of things. He'll be able to dupe her into doing all. In other words, it doesn't sound like she's like, you know what I really want to be? A secret second wife. That's what I really want to be in life. She's in a conversation with this guy trying to figure out how she's gonna what kind of future she's gonna have, and he's the one convincing her. Of course, this is the way to do it. This is the way to go about it. This is. Guess what? Lots of women would fall for that in that situation. Yeah, lots of guys can fall for stupid things as well. Just look at.
There are other victims.